Good morning, Internet, and welcome to another episode of Lux Invictus, a hardcore Minecraft series in which I kill the Wither and die trying, as evidenced by the fact that I'm currently up to my third world attempt. We don't talk about what happened with the first world, it didn't go well. And the second world was very pretty, and I liked it, and it's a real shame that it's gone. Hopefully, third time is the charm. Anyway, between episodes, as you can kind of see, I put in nice roofing in here. I really feel like this works. Also, as you can see, I've rearranged the interior to sort of decorate this area, putting in little shelving units for where my crafting stuff is. That's not really decorating, but putting in a full wall of furnaces so that if I ever decide I need to massively smelt stuff, I can. And rearranging this room so that the bed just feels like it fits better into the space. Some extra bushes to give it character. I put in the second floor with a lovely bushy roof. It's going to get more bushy as I go do another bush gathering. I ran myself out of birch leaves. That will be a custom tree at some point in the future, but I'm going to wait on doing that until I have access to glowberries and azalea. I got myself some more flowers to garden up this top area so that it still looks lovely. I've extended the water on around, increased my pumpkin growing area, increased my sugarcane growing area to go with the water. And as you can see in the distance, I put some stairs up so that I would have a nice visual indicator of where the zero axis is and also how much run I would need to actually have a one-to-one rise run set of stairs connecting all the way up to the top of that ridge line. Because I'm going to be, as my next major project, putting a temple up there. However, I don't think I'm actually going to work on that right now, because I'm feeling brave and bold, and I have some progress on my caves to show off, and to remind myself why actually I hated those caves and did not make more progress, and let's do this. The first of my two super death caves, a ravine. Now, I like ravines on Titancraft. I'm part of the ravine crew. Ravines on a server where you have free respawns or where you have infinite respawns and can get most of your equipment back from buying it off of other players or just some good luck. That's a lovely place to go exploring ravines. Set up nice ravine crew with your friendly neighborhood Minecrafters up on the surface. A hardcore world, on the other hand, ravines are the bane of my existence and are full of drop creepers and falling out to my death at the bottom of the ravine if I'm not careful, which I never am sufficiently careful. Oh, and I found a surface lava lake. So now I have my answer to everything. I should probably put away my building materials before going caving. One moment. And this is around where I hit my stress limit working on it last time. Because it goes back up on this side of the gap. And I didn't want to deal with that. Though speaking of things I should do to deal with this, let's make up a bunch of torches before I head on out into the cave proper, so that I don't get distracted making torches and get blown up by a creeper that snuck up behind me while I was making torches. I learned from my previous hardcore worlds. Good news is, the only thing I'm seeing and hearing in here is that zombie, so unless I find myself colliding with a drop creeper, which is always a possibility, It looks like I have come out to above most of the ravine. Which brings this back to being just ordinary normal cave again. And ordinary normal caves are a thing I can deal with. Probably, I get my friendly reminder that I don't like 1.18 caves about every time I wander into a 1.18 cave. I mean, they're lovely, they're nice, open, and airy, and it makes it really hard for me to... That's a sound effect I hate. And I actually heard it that time, instead of just seeing it down on the screen here. I'm going to hope that the pillagers stay over in wherever it is they are until I despawn them by wandering on away. And that they're not hiding underground waiting to ambush me or something. Part of me is really tempted to drop lava down this ravine just on principle and see if it murders anything. Even though I can see down at the bottom that there is not currently a puddle of mobs waiting for me. Oh, and a general policy I have for ravines in hardcore is that if I have to press shift to place a block, I'm too far out over the ravine and am asking to get shot off my platform anyway. And I no longer have to worry about straight up, because I've dealt with putting lights up in that area. So I'm much more comfortable about digging a bit into the wall and not having to look up. And digging a bit into the wall means that I have far more safe walking space and have to worry less about falling damage. And general rule of thumb, if you are going to tackle a ravine, tackling it from above is generally a good idea. From up top, you're vulnerable to falling into the ravine and dying from falling damage. At the bottom of the ravine, you're vulnerable to drop creepers dropping on you and blowing you up. Wasn't on a hardcore world, but I've had a memorable experience with a drop creeper blowing me off of a bridge that I'd been pillaring across. There'd been a ravine, lava-filled bottom, bright lit up, courtesy of all the lava, and I'd seen diamonds on the other side, and I was just building my cobblestone bridge on across. And a creeper drops behind me. Blows me forward into the lava. That was not fun. Of course, I've also lost a hardcore world that I was made at around the start of 1.17 to coming in to a ravine from the top, having a disagreement with the game as to which block we thought I was standing on after I went to mine gravel on the block that would have been, or mine a block over from me that had gravel on it, and it apparently thought that I was standing in the gravel. And it wouldn't let me get out of the gravel until I'd backed up enough to accidentally fall off of the bridge. Which was also not fun. But that was a quick, third day on the world sort of thing, so... meh. But they're useful lessons for, how not to go caving now. And this ravine just feels so much safer now that I can actually see what's going on. Pretty sure I have enough blocks of lighted perimeter to be able to work on this without having to worry about a creeper walking up behind me. But I've also got my sound on high enough that I'll hopefully actually hear a creeper if it sneaks up behind me this time. Right. Slightly safe box. Not at all safe box. Oh god, this is terrible. Much safer box. And this is why I carry around lava buckets. That's not spider-proof. Speaking of things not being spider-proof, there's a spider over there. I'm going to blockade this for a little bit while I go deal with the other not spider-proof area. Because actually, I'm going to blockade both of these. Because I only want to have one active cave where things could be sneaking up behind me. And right now, that's this cave. Has the skeleton over there seen me? Apparently not. Let's swat a ceiling spider. Okay, that skeleton has now seen me. I need to stop having to chug a pumpkin pie after every fight. Can the skeleton get up to me? Signs appear to point to no. That's not an abuse of power, that's just common sense. Looks like I need to go make more pumpkin pies, so looks like it's also time to just go grab useful minerals. Sure, I'm not going to use the iron for making iron armor, because of all of these silly challenge rules I impose upon myself, to properly show my devotion to the unconquered light. But even if I'm not going to use it for armor, it's useful for making tools, it's useful for making buckets, those are basically tools, and it's useful for making lanterns, which are sacred decoration blocks, and I always need more of them. And never let a little thing like building in hardcore stop you from making absolutely pretty builds and impractical decisions for the sake of aesthetic. After all, if you were to go for a purely functional world, depending on what your objectives were for a hardcore world, the best strategy would either be make a nice little safe bunker with a farming area and just never leave, which is boring, or speedrun your way to the dragon and reset every time you die because you're going to a lot, and just murder the end dragon and be done with it. And that's also boring, or at least that's not the type of gameplay I'm looking for. A small break to go grab more food does not necessarily mean that I'm done with the mining run, since I have yet to hit my stress limit for going caving this episode. And there's some clearly defined rules for what is and is not cheating in Minecraft, and therefore, every utterly annoying trick that I'm pulling isn't cheating. It's not cheating to sleep through the night, because that's a vanilla game mechanic. It's not cheating to murder all of my enemy mobs with lava, because again, that's a vanilla game mechanic. And it definitely isn't cheating to boat off into the distance to make everything despawn, because again, vanilla game mechanic. And the one problem with my current mine setup, I can't exactly bring a wolf down with me into the mine to protect me from skeletons. However, I saw that skeleton lurking in the trees, and I have some bones in my inventory, and happen to know where there are wolves nearby. Good doggo, please last more than an episode this time. And will you help me out with a skeleton hunt? Good dog. The perfect trick for how to keep a wolf in Minecraft alive. Sit it on down somewhere nice and safe and forget about it. With that nice easy trick, the wolf will outlive you. Probably. Once more, into the breach. Ooh, and we're getting down into the deep slate layer. Good, that was what I was hoping to find. So let's follow the deep slate on down and see whether or not I run into any, more super ultra death caves. Because I'm just completely ignoring the cave I found over that way a while back. That, I'd come in, I think, near the top of it, but I saw a bunch of lava trails and a mine shaft. And I'm also ignoring the other super ultra death caves that I'd found that are not connected into this particular cave system, I think. Oh, that's not the shiny blue rock I was looking for. It's not a bad block to pick up. Oh, look! More cave. Is it rude to do that on principle? Probably. Is it gonna stop me? No. And isn't it nice that the warden's not gonna be introduced for another update? Okay, and then it sounded like a creeper, but no, that's a spider. That's a nice cave. That nightmare, on the other hand, is not. Could be a worse cave, though. Doesn't look like anything's gonna be climbing up at me. Why does it have to be another cave like that? Let me guess, it's gonna be full of drop creepers. Or drop skeletons. Ooh, might mix it up a bit and give me drop spiders. And actually, while I'm in a relatively safe spot, because if I'm having this much trouble figuring out how to get up here, what else is going to be able to get up here to follow me? Let's make another few stone picks so I don't keep burning through iron pick durability. when I don't need to. Thank you, Creeper, for clearing that out for me. Let's just barricade this cave on up so that I don't have to deal with the stress. Because it might be harder to barricade caves up in 1.18, but it's not impossible. And it's a useful strategy. Barricade up any and all caves that you don't want to have to deal with, and then you don't have to deal with them. And there we go. Problems Be Gone liquid has been dropped. It deployed successfully. I mean, I wasn't trying to kill the bat, but I'm also not sorry. And I saw the glittering blue rock, but you safety-proof everywhere first, and then come back and mine, so that you don't get the really embarrassing hardcore death of died while mining the diamonds. I'm gonna need to go coal mining. Phrase I never thought I'd say, but here we are. So actually that ought to just work to keep anything from climbing up that way. Aw, boring one vein. And that's us off to a good, and that's a nice good start. Now let's head back on up into some of the upper caves and actually get some more coal. Because apparently I am out of coal. And if I don't find a nice, easily mineable coal vein that doesn't involve me committing to clearing out more stuff, I have got the ability to make charcoal. But here we have a coal vein. I have enough diamonds and I need to start seriously considering what I'm actually going to do with it. However, with more torches, I can head back into that deep slate cave and see if I can get enough diamonds to actually make it clear what I'm going to do with it. Like, say, make a diamond chest plate instead of ambiguous. Choose between terrible unenchanted diamond boots or having a enchanted diamond pick setup, or an enchanting setup. Yeah, have a diamond pick, use that to make an enchanting setup, and then not have any armor. See, it's not clear and obvious what the right choice there is. It's probably making the diamond pick and getting an enchanting setup because enchanted gold armor is still mildly adequate because, sure, it's gold, and gold is terrible. But gold makes up for being utterly terrible by at least being mildly easy to enchant. Doesn't look like anything except spiders is going to be sneaking up. Ooh, more diamonds. Shit. I just heard the sound of a creeper hurting, and that's a really worrying sound effect. And there aren't holes in the ceiling where a creeper just fell through, because I would have seen that. And then probably also gotten blown up for my troubles. And I don't know why, but somehow I find the deep slate cave texture just less stressful than ordinary caves. It's the same sort of death cave formation, but it bothers me less if it's a deep slate cave. Why on earth is that? But I think 6 diamonds is a greedy enough diamond mining for one episode. So let's just leave with my diamonds and my 20 gold. Use a surface lake or surface lava lake to get my obsidian. And get myself some enchanted butter armor. I would call it enchanted gold armor, but those are clearly butter bars, and also it has about the durability of butter, so it's now butter armor. And let's make and harvest the first of my obsidian blocks. And there we go, I found it, and this is the point at which I tell the wolf to be a good doggo and not get into trouble. How much of the day did that take? A lot of the day. Like a lot of the day. Good news is, there is a village right nearby. And villages have beds. I've stolen one of the beds from that village, but it's still got plenty of beds left. And that's the bed I stole. So, I noticed when I was sorting out my inventory and the like, that I also have 3 string, in addition to the 3 obsidian I will need for my enchanting table. So, I'm going to make a bow, and now, while I wait for the sun to set so that I can set time to morning, let's make some trees disappear. Wolf, what did you do? Oh no. Come on in. And sit. Where I know you won't hurt yourself. And I heard you make injured noises. And now I get to set time to morning and go cow tipping. Finally. I shall return with leather. Hopefully a lot of leather. And that is just the weirdest tree formation. I have no idea what's going on here. There hasn't been lava. There's no creeper holes. And I don't remember doing it. So, this ought to be a fast, easy speed run of gather leather. Oh no. I'm sorry, dog. I did not mean to hit you. Oh, and I can't. Will you eat steak? Stop running away from me. I'm trying to feed you. Thank you. I remember something about horses also dropping leather. Excuse me while I commit some crimes against Minecraft. That's a long way down. Ooh, I see a lava lake in the distance. Or maybe not strictly speaking a lava lake, but I see a spot that is a clear indication that there is a lava lake by virtue of the fact that the trees are on fire. However, I also think I saw faint hints of a village nearby. Nice little cozy village. Now, does any of these villagers have useful trades for me? Besides just the possibility of me looting them for everything they're worth, which appears to be a solid not much, but loot is loot. Shame I can't use the iron. But ooh. And butter bar. And this is where I start plan to come on back with a bunch of emeralds. So I finally have a useful village. Or combining my two villages, I finally get to do something useful again. Do donkeys not drop leather? Still, I think my villager exploitation is going to be next episode. Getting my enchanting table set up is going to be enough work for one episode. And even if there have been no cow respawns, 12 leather's enough to set up a bookshelf or two, right? You know, from this angle, that looks like a very pretty mountain. Nice little chunks of floating cloud island, because it wouldn't be Minecraft without a few of those. And a bright, airy cave. And then the closer we get, the less appealing it looks. Okay, I need 2 diamonds, which means I have 1 spare diamond after making my enchanting table. Oh. Okay, that would be my problem. I need 4 obsidian rather than 3. Now, how do I get down? Other than slowly and carefully, and without taking all that much falling damage. Actually, no, I agree that that is how I should get down. And with that spacing, I will eventually be pulling in that corner. Now let's see, what enchantments is it offering for me? How much you want to bet that is just Unbreaking 1? Oh joy. Right, let's see how bad the enchants I slap onto my butter armor end up being. Okay, see, Depth Strider ain't gonna help me survive all that much, except for the fact that I have this lovely water cave. Unbreaking is terrible. My bookshelves are infecting my enchanting table, right? Still, lovely blinged up golden armor. I like it. Right up until it all breaks on me and it turns out to not save me from anything. Now for something I promised I was going to do with that iron. It's not practical, but it is pretty. And I feel like that's a lovely place to end my second episode, with a set of enchanted armor, even if it is gold, and a diamond pickaxe. And a good doggo who survived a whole full episode. I hope we have a long and happy future together. You and me are going to go good places, doggo. It's going to be great.